Welcome, Knights of Apollo, to another medieval battle. This time, the duchies of the Holy Roman Empire are in complete revolt. More specifically, the Duchy of Bavaria and the Duchy of Austria. Willing to fight to the last man to become their own sovereign state, the two factions form an alliance to take on their daddy, the Holy Roman Empire. Now, the Holy Roman Empire may be outnumbered, but they've got the money, they've got the wealth. They hired a mercenary force from the east, an army of Mongols. And they're fighting, in that one place in Bavaria that's like desert. Yeah, that one place. So here we go. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield. Now, we're going to go ahead and look at these army comps as the armies prepare to set up for battle. Now, let's start with the Kingdom of Bavaria. I guess we could say that. No, we'll just stick to Duchy. So the Duchy of Bavaria, they've got some medium crossbows in the front line, so they're going to use that AP damage to try to bring down the enemy knights. Then behind the crossbows, we've got a nice force of heavy melee infantry, tier 2 infantry. So not the best, but definitely not the worst. It's pretty cool to see the different coat of arms and stuff. It's very fantastic. So Bavaria's got a solid force of infantry. Then back here, he's reserving his elite force of dismounted knights. And Bavaria looks so good. Look at this. They've been working on the textures of the uniforms and stuff, been adding new stuff like this. It just looks really good, really authentic. Way back here, we have the Duke of Austria, and I love it. Look at those uniforms. He is ready for battle. And then way over here, we've got more cav from Bavaria. They look fantastic. The Bavarian Knights, so nice. Look at the shields. Look at these shields. Look at that. The blue and white. That's what I live for. And then over here, we've got some Marines. Or no, that's not Marines. It's just medium axe infantry. And then some spears to help out in cav engagements. So let's now move on to his Austrian ally. So he's got a similar army of, well, he actually has peasant archers. And then we've got some pikes, more medium melee infantry. Back here, he also has some dismounted knights. So like I said, very similar. He's also bringing some crossbows. And he's got some Austrian knights in the front line and some elite heavy melee infantry. So this is like late period. They've got steel plate armor ready to go. There's more cav in the trees, so pretty solid force. Let's now look at the Holy Roman Empire, who has about 4 units. Is that 4 or 5? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 units of free company longbows. So not only did he hire a bunch of Mongol mercenaries, but he's also hiring a bunch of longbow, mercenary troops. So he's got 5 of them, which is going to be a deadly force of arrows. And then back here, he's got some footmen. So this is a late period, very late period, heavy melee infantry. So a solid force. It's a small force, but it's definitely solid, ready to go. So I think that's all he has. Oh, he also has free. Well, the Holy Roman Empire pretty much does not have an army. We've got free company footmen too. So he's just hiring everything. It's just crazy. And then over here we've got the Emperor. So pretty cool. And then we've got the Mongols. Now the Mongols are looking, I guess they're feeling extra flamboyant today. There's a little glitch with their armor. They're wearing like bright purplish blue. Yeah, so I think because they messed with the textures, it kind of screwed up some of other faction textures. So yeah, here's the general's bodyguard. We got some Mongol heavy lancers. We also have some troops from Kiev, Drzina. So yeah, dismounted Drzina for his infantry. For his archers, he's got some Turkic archers. And then back here, he's got some horse archers, classic Mongol force. And then right here, we've got some more Mongol heavy lancers. So that's it for the army comp. So let's get started with the battle. All right, guys. So the Mongols are going to be the first ones to start this battle. They are thirsty for blood and money because, they are a mercenary force, but they like to fight. And we do have some archers walking in place. Okay. All right, a little weird here. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, they are moving forward slightly. There they go. Okay. That was a little strange. Doing a little moonwalking there. That's all right. It's just a Mongol tactic. They're like, oh, wow, man, look at those moves. I don't want to kill an enemy like that. They're so talented. But yeah, the forces are pushing up. The crossbows they've got the high ground. So they might have a much better range. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. Now, the Mongol archers are very, very skilled, but crossbows are very deadly. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, the Mongols still pushing forward. If we kind of zoom out here, we see the Holy Roman Empire's cav. So he's got about 5 units of cav on his right flank. So, well, this would be the left flank of the Austrian point of view. So we do have a little bit of cav matchup. Now, Austria has its 2 hidden units. I don't know if the Holy Roman Empire realizes that there's hidden cav units back here, but this might play an important role in the future of this battle, in the later stages of the battle. So here we go. Finally, we're getting some fire, some arrows hitting the enemy, and some bolts from the crossbows. So I think they actually have an advantage in range. Yeah, I think so, because these medium crossbow infantry, they are not firing back. They need to push forward. Over on this side, we got the peasant archers who are breaking instantly. Now, the peasant archers, I didn't really expect them to win this one, but they can have some benefit of being cannon fodder and getting the longbows to waste some of their ammo. If I was playing as a Holy Roman Empire, I would just like fire 1 or 2 units to use their ammo. I'm really going to try to conserve my ammo, because you can really pepper down some armies with some longbows. It's pretty effective. So here goes another volley, which should finish the job here. Oh, yeah. Peasant archers just cannot withstand that volley. And then back here, the crossbow fire is still underway. Now we've got some Mongol horse archers who are going to be pushing up. And oh, the purple uniforms. Fabulous. They're going to be pushing up and trying to support their archers in this skirmish. Just really harass Bavaria and try to get them to maybe commit to a fight that they cannot win, or a situation they cannot win. But yeah, they're gonna be very difficult, very annoying. It's hard to run down these guys. I mean, a good way to counter horse skirmishers is by using using your archers to fire at them. But since these crossbows are so occupied with the archers, I think Bavaria is going to have to push forward. I think Bavaria is going to have to push and get their infantry in the fight, because that is where their strength is, or that's where their strength, yeah, is. So yeah, they got to do that. And then back over here, we do have a cav engagement. Cav charging in. We've got the medium melee cav of Austria. And then here comes the heavy knights charging downhill. Look at this. Boom. And then we got another charge down here. Nice, fantastic. Now the Holy Roman Empire also has some pretty solid cav. They are heavy shock cav, so they should be able to put up quite a good fight. But we got a nice cav engagement to start off this battle with a bloody melee. More cav charging from the forest. Look at this. Yep, he's got mounted this unit. Heavy shock cav, basically. So he's going to charge in and support the cav engagement. He is forming wedge formation, which will slow down his charge, but it will make it more effective. Wedge formation is actually pretty effective in cav engagements. You can really penetrate the cav lines and try to break up their formation. So here we go. There they go. Charging in. Head first. Boom. Joining the fight. The rest of the cav, it looks like they're going to try to get some of these crossbows. The crossbows should just stand their ground and fire at them. If they're going to charge them head forward like that, just fire down. Oh, let's slow it down, guys. We got a lot going on. So back over here, the heavy Mongol lancers going in for a charge, running down some crossbows and making this even more difficult for the Bavarians to skirmish their opponent. So now, not only were they already at a disadvantage, but the cav just ended any hope of trying to skirmish the enemy. So the Mongol heavy lancers are going to flee from that situation. They don't want to stay in there for too long because there's some knights pursuing them. But yeah, I think it's time for Bavaria to just commit their infantry and hope for the best. I mean, that's kind of where he is right now. I mean, it just seems like the Holy Roman Empire and the Mongols, they both relied heavily on their skirmishing forces, and it's paying off. They're doing a good job of just chipping away at the Austrian Duchy, or Austrian-Bavarian alliance. Let's go back here, where it looks like the Holy Roman Empire just using sheer numbers surrounding these Austrian knights, causing a lot of commotion for them. Really difficult. They're just pinned down. It seems like this is going to be a defeat. This small little skirmish is going to be a defeat for the Austrian forces. Here comes another charge. Wedge formation once again. Actually, you know, it's pretty even over here. But with this wedge charge, might change that. It might make it very difficult. So let's get a nice cinematic view of this. Look at this. Incoming! Boom! Fantastic. So yeah, they're surrounding the Austrian knights. It's a pretty bloody situation there. Let's head back over this way. We still haven't seen any infantry engage just yet. Now I was gonna say Bohemian. The Bavarian knights looks like they're ready to charge. I mean, they're in a good spot. There we go. The spears are charging forward before the knights. They're going to try to beat them there, but they won't. The knights, of course, are a little bit faster, and they might try to catch the Mongol. No, they're not going to do that. But I think they're just, you know, they've got to do something. They've got to stand their ground. And, oh, wait, maybe they're just getting closer. We'll see what happens. Oh, the Mongols are deciding not to charge in. Look at that. The Mongols are falling back. And I think they're going to try to trick them into a little bit of a trap here. Let's see, are they going to make their stand here? I think they're just getting a little bit closer to the infantry. Now it seems like the Mongols are going to turn around and engage their enemy. It's not very Mongol-like to run away from a big cav battle. So nice, great charges from both sides. Bavarians going in, Mongols going in. We got spears to help them out, but I don't know if the Bavarian spears are going to be enough. And we have some axemen closing in too. The medium axemen. Good unit here. Very good at taking out big units like cav. So he's going to charge in, support that cav fight, which might actually turn the tide of this battle. So far, it seems like it's way in the Mongol control. Look at the axes being tossed into the fight. Throw your throwing axes, and finally, we've got our first melee collision here. Oh yeah, fantastic. Really cool stuff right there. Really awesome stuff. Alright, so let's actually do some slow motion. So the Mongols have one Lancer cav just sitting in reserve. They're now using it to flank around the Bavarian infantry. That's a great use of the cav. And look at that, instantly these guys are already breaking. So just the Mongols have so much cav, it's hard for the Bavarians to really deal with them. But the good news is that if they can quickly break through this infantry, that's going to cause a lot of issues for the Mongolian forces. Now back over here, I think we also, weird formations from both sides. But we've got more wedge formations coming in from the Holy Roman Empire. They really enjoy their wedge formations. And then here comes a counter. Oh, the axes of justice flying through the air, and some Austrian knights charging in as well. So let's go back to normal speed. So nice little melee engagement. Now the heavy melee. So it's just small pockets of fighting, this fight over here. Meanwhile, over on this side, it's like a long line, and it's not looking good for Bavaria. Now, Bavaria is winning over here because of all the infantry support. It's like I think this is a good move for Bavaria, because he sacrificed pretty much his main infantry line by sending over reserves to help out this cav engagement. But now he's got a lot of heavy shock cav, which could win the battle alone. These guys are really deadly, and if you can get good charges, you could wipe out entire armies. So it's important for Bavaria to keep these guys alive. Ooh, they're getting hit from arrows though. You got to stay away from the arrows. But yeah, keep them alive, keep them running, keep them charging. And then back here, we've got some reserves going into the fight. Some dismounted knights going in. Uh-oh, general has fallen. The Mongol general is down, I assume. Yeah, the Mongol general has died in the cav engagement against the Bavarians. And now the Mongols lack leadership, which might cause some morale issues later on in the late stages of the battle. So far, the Mongols are holding strong, even though they lost their general. Back over here, the Holy Roman Empire is cleaning up the Austrian infantry. The mercenary swords, the cell swords, actually are proving themselves, showing that money is worth fighting for, or is more worth fighting for than pride, I guess. I don't know. Also, the cav engagement went very poorly. Or actually, no, wait. The Austria actually won the cav engagement. That or the Holy Roman Empire simply just fell back, which is very possible. But yeah, Austria is sending over their reinforcements. They've got to support this cav, or this infantry engagement. Back over here, the Mongols are starting to lose the infantry fight because I believe Austria actually sent it. Okay, so this is making sense. it's kind of hard to tell what's going on because the two opposing sides, you know, they're both red, so it's hard to tell what unit is theirs. But yeah, Austria actually sent in reinforcements to take out the Mongol horde. Now, by doing that, if they can quickly take out these Mongols, they could form a defensive line on this hill. You see how the hill goes down there a little bit, and use that against the Holy Roman Empire. But they've got to move fast, and they've got to do it now. They've already got some forces trying to fight for this strategic positioning on the battlefield. Let's go back to normal speed and see how this one's gonna play out. Here we go, mercenary Swiss halberds. So, all right, Bavaria's got some mercenaries. The halberds should do well here, but they've got to. There we go. Watch this, guys. Watch this. See you later. Oh. You never charge polearm. It could have been a lot worse, but yeah, it's just don't charge polearms that are formed up like that. It's a bad situation. The Mongols still slowing down the Bavarian Austrian advance, and now the two well, actually, hold on. You know, this fight's not over yet, and really what Austria needs to do here is just the arrows. Just slow down the Holy Roman Empire and get it so his ally has the high ground. That's basically what he needs to do. He's setting up some pikes to form and help defend, help take on this cav unit. They're getting some kills, but the cav should be able to get away. Some friendly fire there too. Also, he needs to try to get these longbows to use up all of their ammo. They can be very, very deadly in late stages of the battle. I mean, they can win the battle alone. So, I mean, who knows? This battle might come down to archers. You never know. But what's left of the heavy melee infantry is trying to rout the enemy, run them off the battlefield so they do not return around their flank. Back here, we've got the Austrian Duke. He's still alive, I believe. We'll go and turn on the, oops, that's not what I meant to press. Let's turn on the mini-map so we can kind of see a little bit better what's happening. Back here, what's left of the Holy Roman Empire trying to fight for this strategic positioning as taking on some Bavarian and Austrian knights, fighting to the bitter end. So I love this. I mean, it's a really close battle. It's actually in favor of the Duchy Alliance, the Allied forces. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough one. Like I said, I think it's going to come down to the archers. I think they're going to save the day. We did, cab charge from Bavaria. Now, Bavaria is sending over reinforcements to help his ally. This is a good move by him, trying to run down these longbows, because I think he knows as a player that he's got to take out these archers, because he himself does not have archers, and the only way to counter archers are with cav, running them down quickly. So he's doing that exactly, but you know, he's got to keep up the charges, and unfortunately the longbows prove themselves in close combat and defeat the Bavarian Knights, which is a little tragic there. More swords fighting, getting rid of what's left of the Austrian forces, and then back over here, what's left of the Austrian crossbows are trying to escape. But they're getting slowed down here by the heavy melee infantry, or they're slowing down the Holy Roman Empire who were pursuing those crossbows. Now they can fire at the backs of these men. So great tactics here. Never give up kind of attitudes from all these players, which is what I love to see. Just never surrender, will not admit defeat. Back here, finally they're defeating the Free Company footmen, who just once again proved themselves. I really wish mercenaries had like pretty weak morale. Like if there was any chance of them losing, they should break pretty quickly, just because they're fighting for money and not like for their nation or anything. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, they defeat that infantry force. They need to quickly reform though, and they've got to do it now. More knights running down infantry, I believe Austrian infantry. The longbows need to reform and prepare to take this hill. And you can see Bavaria has no archers, and they're still getting harassed by the Mongol cav. So that's what the Mongols do. They just constantly harass you, make it very difficult for you. But Austria's pretty much spent. I mean, he needs to keep his crossbows alive. But yeah, he's looking rough right now. I mean, he doesn't have much but crossbows at this point. So let's see here. The Mongols going in for a charge. Oh god, the Austrian general has no way, like nothing he can do there. So he just charges into the horse skirmishers, because if he tries to run away, he's just gonna get shot down to death. And I believe, yep, he's breaking. He is breaking. So the king or Duke of Austria breaking. He most likely will be dead if he loses this battle because he will be beheaded for betraying the daddy, the Holy Roman Empire. Alright, so we've got the forces forming up. I don't know why they're not trying to rush for this hill. You can see that the Holy Roman Empire is doing just that, rushing for the hill. The Mongols are pretty much out of the game. They still have horse archers, which can be deadly, no doubt, which they're, oh man, they're taking out Austria's only two important units left on the battlefield, which is his crossbows, which is unfortunate for him. So I think it's safe to say that Austria is pretty much spent. He's got nothing really to support his ally. He might have some infantry over here, which is a possibility. He does. He's got some dismounted knights, but I believe that's it. So 1 unit of dismounted knights. Yeah. The Bavarians still have 2 units of cav. This heavy cav is going to have a very difficult time running down the Mongol horse archers. I mean, you know, I'm going to be honest, guys. I hate horse archers with a passion. I'm just like, oh, man. I mean, it's not, I don't think they're cheap or anything. They definitely require a lot of micro, and you got to try to use that against your opponents. But I just hate fighting them. They're just a real pain in the side, in the rear end. So Mongols going in for a charge, just slowly chipping away at the separated infantry. And that is going to break them pretty quickly. Let's see, they're not breaking just yet, they're wavering. And now the Bavarian Knights trying to save his own men, charging over there, but he sees no point because there's no way he's gonna catch up to him. And now they're forming like a defensive, kind of like a defensive square. Okay, so the crossbows are still alive. So he did not lose the crossbows, so he needs to try to get them over there because he has no answer for these longbows. All he can do is just charge them. That's it. If he sits back with this infantry like this, it's going to be game over. So we're in the critical moments. The balance of power is pretty much even, I would say slightly in favor of the Holy Roman Empire. Or, I'm sorry, the duchies, the allied forces. So the Bavarian Knights are pushing up. And they're going to go for the longbows. Let's see. Here we go. This is huge. This will decide the fate of this battle. This one Bavarian Knight charge. If they can crush these longbows and get them off the battlefield, then they have a chance of winning this fight. If they can't get to the longbows, which, oh no. They hesitated there. I don't know why, but yeah, they're not going to be able to catch up to them. Now the Mongols, or the Holy Roman Empire, is going to charge in and try to slow them down. He's got a healthier unit going in now. Oh, but the Bavarians are trying. They're trying their best to slow down these longbows, but it's just not going to happen. They might, yeah, they will break the knights here, but the longbows now have an opportunity to form up on this hill. Let's actually go ahead and slow motion here just a little bit to get a bigger picture of what's going on. So we actually have some cav down here. Oh, so Austria's back. Look at this, they've got knights back to the battle. So that might really help out the fight. And then he's got his, oh no, since he lost his general, he's got nothing keeping these men inspired. So they're starting to waver. Oh, just like that, they're breaking. That's a huge, that's just disheartening for the duchies there. And now the Mongols are going in for the kill. So they're going to try to surround the Bavarian Knights. And really, the heart of this army at this point of the battle are the Bavarian Knights, which are getting mowed down. Mowed down. And that's it. The knights are wavering. The infantry, the Bavarian infantry, they have to turn this battle around. What's left of the Holy Roman Empire surrounding the Bavarian infantry. And we even have the general here, the emperor, kind of running around, seeing what he can do. Okay, there's still a lot of infantry left though of Bavaria. And look at this, Bavarian Knights have regrouped and they're now going to try to take out this Mongol horse archer unit, which they don't. They're wavering, but they should return, which is unfortunate. The Knights need to quickly get up here and try to help their infantry. Yeah, the balance of power is now in favor of the Holy Roman Empire, clearly. The Knights of Austria going in for one last charge, trying to take this hill and silence those archers. Where are the Bavarian Knights? As long as they are still alive, there's still hope. Where's the Bavarian general? Did he die? I assume he died, so they are generalless. And now the archers are just gonna open fire on these guys. Watch. I mean, they can try to zigzag and try to get, oh no. There we go, last charge here of Austria. Archers standing their ground. Bavaria going in to try to take out this cav. The infantry fight still going on, but Bavaria is wavering just like that. They are breaking, and that's the battle, guys. And we have a Holy Roman Pyrrhic victory. So thanks to the Mongol horde, they were able to hold on to their power and put those duchies in place. And both the leaders of Austria and Bavaria were executed if they did not die in the battle. So let's end the replay and look at the results here. So this scenario is completely made up, in case you're wondering. This did not happen. At least I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it didn't. But this was sent in by the Holy Roman Empire player, I believe. Or he sent in the replay, but I believe this was the Mongol point of view. I don't know. It was sent in by Hohen Master. So thank you so much for the battle replay. You can see his longbows just wrecking lives there. His cav did pretty well. His infantry doing solid. The Mongol numbers pretty well as well. His horse archers were really the saviors for his army. And then Bavaria did good. His knights did well. They could have done better, but they did well. His crossbows struggled against the superior archer force. His infantry did all right, but I just really think this battle came down to skirmishers. I think that really the Holy Roman Empire and the Mongol horde really set the pace with those archers and just like, hey, we're going to use our archers here. They were loud and clear about it. And the Bavarians and Austria, they tried everything they could to try to take out those archers, but they just couldn't get to them, and that was their downfall. So that's going to be today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, share, and of course subscribe for more epic battles. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you guys next time on the battlefield.